Hey, what's going on? Casuals Fantasy Football Podcast. Two mics representing greatness, delivering mediocrity.
High expectations, low results.
Pretty much. We had just the two of. What's that?
I can't not pay attention.
You're good. You're good. So, we just got the two of us today, Bo.
Hello, Kenneth.
How are you doing today?
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Got Bo Jangles with us today.
Hey, Daddy Jangles.
Oh, no.
Hey, Daddy Jangles.
So we got Big Dawg Lil Dawg Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Nice.
Chapter 2.
We got Stiff by our co-hosts. How you doing, Ben? Nice to see you. Richie, glad you were here. Anyway, so today we're gonna have a little bit of news. We're gonna start our fantasy breakdown by divisions. We're gonna do NFC East. We're gonna pretty much cover each team and relevant fantasy players. If you hear crinkling, Bo is eating some cookies and cream Hershey's drops, I think they're called. So you might hear...
This episode of the Casuals Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by Hershey's Cookies and Cream Drops.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to do a top 5 today. I think we're going to...
Oh, yeah, we did mention that we were going to change it up.
Yeah, we're going to change it up a little bit. So unless we think of something as we're going, like top 5, we already did candy bar, so it takes the Hershey's out.
We had a top 5 drinks plan, but
yeah,
thanks for coming.
We're a little shorthanded, so we'll just push the top 5 to next recording, or 2 recordings from now, since we're doing 2 shows, during the week. So, all right, and we're also going to have Talk Big Lottery draft at the end. So
we got some goodies back here we can show you, maybe.
Yeah.
Little sneak
peek. Unless we get a delivery while we're here. Ooh. That would be breaking news. All right. Let's do some news.
Have I got news for you?
All right. Well, as we know, the draft was last week, and that was big on the calendar. The next big thing on the calendar is the schedule release on this coming up Wednesday.
Yeah.
On the 12th. So I think we're actually going to be recording that day. So it'll give us something to talk about. Where we can look up some nice matchups. So I mean, we all know what teams are playing who, but we don't know what weekend. We don't know if it's Monday night, Thursday night, stuff like that. So
what if we swapped, like midweek we did our episode, and weekend we did our rankings?
I mean, we can do whatever the hell we want.
We'll have to talk to the producers on that one. Hey, you good? You good? Oh, yeah, we're good.
It doesn't. I mean, I feel like when we do the only reason the ranking shows should be shorter. That's why we do them during the week.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks was a lot easier for us. So running backs, receivers, we're probably going to break down into smaller groups.
Yep,
so
groups of 12.
Talk about the guys a little longer.
Yep, I think we're going to do running backs group. I think this week we got running backs 1 through 12 coming up. So
sure. Running backs are probably going to be easier than receivers too. There's just so many more receivers.
Yeah, and they're all real close once you get to a certain.
For sure.
A certain
25 to 35 are all the same receiver.
Basically, yeah. Kerryon Johnson,
dude,
becomes the 7th Eagle running back on the roster. I have no idea.
Loved it for Swift stock, and then I don't understand. What is Philly doing?
I feel like they're just getting as many people as they can and just letting them fight it out. and the best.
Which is awesome for Gainwell.
Yeah.
That contest, I can see him just being like, yeah, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I'm better than you at this. I'm better than you in this.
I agree, but
I hate it for him.
Carry-on gives him. If I'm Boston Scott, I'm nervous as shit.
Yeah. You might get shipped off to Boston.
The only thing about Boston Scott is
he's got 2 first names.
That and well, it must be cool to be named after a big ass city like that. But maybe. Probably never been there.
Me? I've never been to Boston.
No, not you.
Have you been to Boston?
I have not.
Yeah. We should go.
Yeah. Sounds like a road trip.
Yeah. See ya.
I don't.
You ever seen the movie Shooter?
Yes.
Memphis was the dude's name. It's a dope name.
Yeah.
Speaking of Memphis, let's talk about Kenneth Gainwell a little more.
Yeah. Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, I think he's a lock to make the roster, obviously.
I was texting him back and forth. He might even been on our group chat. I was texting back and forth with Richie, and he was like, yeah, Gainwell might get cut.
No, I think he's a lock. I think Boston Scott's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Carrion might be in trouble.
Jordan Howard's in trouble.
Because he was claimed. It's not like they're like, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
he's probably got $2 million on his.
Yeah, Jordan Howard is on there. There's a bunch of other guys that some of the guys I've heard
Wendell
of.
Smallwood, they still got him?
No, the Steelers have Smallwood.
Seriously?
Yeah, he was on their team all last year.
Speaking of Smallwood.
Yeah, Cletus needs a. We have a guy calling his name Cletus Deadwood. We can't get a hold of him.
Call him.
I can't call him right now. I think he's out making moonshine.
In the backwoods.
So I don't. Any other news you can think of off the top of my head? I only had those 2 things.
Off the top of your head, nope. Can't think of nothing.
All right. I guess we can do some fantasy breakdown here at some point.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? First, okay, no, we're good. Oh nope, that's the wrong one. I was about to hit Freeze and Frenzy. Yeah, this one.
Fantasy breakdown.
The one time you're gonna hear Richie's voice today.
There you go. All right, today we're doing the NFC East. The way we're going to do this is we're going to cover the teams, how they finish in a division last year. So it's going to go Washington, Dallas, Giants, and then the Eagles pulling up the rear. So let's start with Washington. Last year they finished 7-9.
Hold on, I got to get a drop ready.
They finished 7-9. Some of their key additions this year, of course, they have Ryan FitzMagic. They drafted Diami Brown from North Carolina.
He was a. We'll get there.
Dax Milne from BYU. They drafted a tight end, but I have to guess, since I've never heard of him, John Bates, that he's probably a blocking tight end is what I'm guessing.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so I don't think that's very significant.
Watch him turn out to be a beast.
Their opponents at home this year, they have the inner division, Dallas, Philly, and the Giants, but they have Kansas City at home.
Well, they got a first place schedule. So.
Yeah, they have New Orleans at home. They have the Chargers at home.
So they play AFC West. Gotcha.
They have Tampa Bay at home, and they have Seattle at home.
They at least lucked out on their home schedule.
Yeah, on the road,
could you imagine traveling west to east?
Yeah, that's
they shouldn't do that for the schedule at all.
Yeah, those teams aren't good.
I just always remember in our Survivor Pick'em League that we do, every time the Chargers would play in Miami or play in Jacksonville or something, Phillip Rivers sucked on the East Coast, and I'd always pick whoever they were coming because he just didn't travel coast to coast well.
Yeah, that 3 hours makes a difference.
I'm gonna stop eating these.
Away, they're at Atlanta, at Carolina, at Denver, at Las Vegas, at Green Bay, and at Buffalo.
So 2 tough games. Or 2.
Yeah, I mean, so in there looking for fantasy, you're looking. Here's a thing for Washington before I get into the players. Their defense is going to make their games not high. I don't know that they're going to be in many shootouts, I guess is what I'm saying. 24-20, 21-17.
I'll take that all day for my stock.
But again, you're not going to be in one of those like Dallas that they can't stop anybody. So they're going to be.
FitzMagic's a shooter, though.
But if he doesn't have to be, it's not a bad thing either. I mean, if the game's on the line in the last 2 minutes, he's a good guy to have.
Truth.
But I just that's the only thing that worries me about their players because going over their numbers last night, it looked like they had a hard time getting the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean Gibson had double-digit touchdowns, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Thomas might have had 5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, there wasn't. I got all the numbers here, but it isn't very many. So let's go to relevant fantasy. Let's start with the
Antonio Gibson.
The running back position.
I just wanted to do it.
So we have Antonio Gibson. Last year had 795 rushing yards. He had 36 receptions for 247 yards, 11 touchdowns, total touchdowns, and he had 44 targets as a receiver. He finished the running back 13. Mm-hmm. I don't see any reason why those numbers shouldn't grow.
Pure progression this year for sure.
So plus we have an extra game.
Yep.
So when I was
when
I was going out and projecting next year, I projected 1,021 rushing yards, 48 receptions, 350.
I need to know your math behind 1,021 rushing
350 receiving yards, and then 10 touchdowns. I have him regressing a little bit. One touchdown.
That wouldn't shock anybody for sure.
And then 60 targets. So I went up because I don't see J.D. McKissick when I read his stats being able to keep that. I think some of his stats are going to go to Antonio Gibson.
There was games he had 12, 13 targets. I mean, Smith was just dumping it to him. So
yeah, I mean J.D. McKissick finished RB17.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So
I mean, pure PPR.
Yeah, he was 365 rushing. He had 80 receptions. He had 589 receiving yards.
900 total yards.
3 total touchdowns, and he had 110 targets.
Yeah.
So when I did his numbers,
he was a league winner. He was a league winning
for Richie in our. I mean, in our BSB league, Richie had him, and he definitely carried him through tough times that his team was going through for sure. I don't see that being the case this year. And they still have Peyton Barber. I didn't put him down as relevant. They still got Bryce Love. I don't know.
He's gone.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah,
okay, I didn't see that he had left. But
I
do
your research, jeez. Too busy projecting 1,021 yards.
Don't worry. Don't hate on my projection. But Peyton Barber he might rob some of the goal line stuff. They do like him in the goal line. So, and you got anything else to add on Antonio Gibson?
How, you may not know, because I don't know either, obviously. How does FitzPatrick provide? Does he dump off a lot? I mean, how are his running backs? I don't know how to word this.
You mean is he like check down Sally?
Well, I know he's a gunslinger, but like, do his running backs get affected by? I mean, do they score?
I don't know that their numbers go up, and I think the tight end numbers go down too. Mm-hmm. I know he likes to throw to the outside receivers. Example: Devonte Parker was irrelevant, and then
unless he was in there.
Yeah, and then he took over, and
which I think is more of a Corey Davis benefit than F1.
Right,
McLaurin for
F1. Yeah, I don't do a lot of the
F1 McLaren.
I don't know
McLaren,
a lot of your acronyms.
Yeah.
Is that an acronym? I don't even know if I'm right on that. God, I'm old.
Yes, facts.
Do you have anything else to add to the running back position?
No, just that question mark. I mean, you know, I'm gobbling up AG anywhere I can get him.
I have to believe that the coaching staff needs to be smarter to know Antonio Gibson played the slot in college. They got to throw him the ball. I mean, he's got to have the ball in his hands.
I know your projections, but how shocked would you be if he took that CMAC year 2 step up in Rivera's offense?
I would not be shocked at all. I think they have the right.
I'm about it, so I mean,
I think they have the right quarterback to step it up, but
we just got a text message
from
Wild Guess.
Was it?
Yeah. Yes.
No, it's too late. So let's move to the wide.
We're good.
Let's move to the wide receiver position. So obviously Terry McLaurin's really the only one that's relevant by stats from last year.
No, you're saying returning players.
I'm saying wide receivers.
Returning players?
Yes.
Curtis Samuel is
I totally forgot about adding him. Holy shit, did I suck?
I
missed that one.
In terms of Richie Neal, he was a wide receiver too.
Yeah. I missed him on additions. That's God, it was like midnight when I was doing this.
And that was your boy too.
Yeah, I like Curtis Samuel. I totally forgot about Curtis Samuel.
You're a piece of crap.
I suck at my job.
It's the casuals.
I was really late doing this last night, so let's go over McLaurin because I don't have Samuel stats in front of me, but I can look it up real quick.
Has he topped 1,000 yards his first 2 seasons?
Who's that?
F1.
Well, I have to look at I didn't look at 2019. But he did have 1,118 yards,
which was a shock because there was a lot of times that were like, "Man, are they going to get him the ball?"
Yeah, he had his stat line was 87 receptions, 1,118 yards. He had 134 targets, and he had 30 yards rushing, 4 total touchdowns, which is the part that
was shocking.
Is bad.
Health pending, he should be a lock for triple-digit receptions.
Yeah, especially with the extra game, with the extra game. So he finished wide receiver 20 last
Sounds
year.
about right.
So I have him projected as 100 on the dot. I have him 1,285 yards, and I have him 145 targets.
So pure progression with FitzMagic back there.
I have him the same rushing yard, but I have him going up 4 I have him 8 total touchdowns.
Sounds right.
That's what I feel.
I can see even more. Just depends on the other pieces.
Yeah, he's dynamic enough that he can play all 3 X, Y, or Z. He can get open from all of them.
18 touchdowns between their 2 stars in the offense that you are claiming could be rather boring just based off of their defense holding strong.
Right.
18 touchdowns is a lot between 2 guys.
Let's see here. So
and you said 10. Was that rushing? 10 rushing touchdowns from AG?
I believe
or
it was
total.
It was total.
Okay.
He had 11 total touchdowns.
Okay.
So I think
I'm saying this your projection this coming year.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I had it 10 total.
Okay. I didn't know if that was just pure rushing or.
So Samuel finished
24?
25.
25? So he's a wide receiver 3. My bad.
Yeah. So he's high and he's a low end 2. But what are we counting?
He is. He should be a flex player. That's exactly what he should be.
Right. I agree. I agree 100%. I'm trying to find a stat line.
I thought you were trying to text Ben back.
No, I'm not trying to text Ben back. I don't even know
Maybe
what
if you were
said.
prepared, you'd have his stat line ready. Statman, where you at?
I suck so bad.
Statman?
He don't even show up on here.
Just here, Brett.
No, I got it. Hold on.
Just keep talking. All you gotta do is Samuel in the top search bar.
I got it. Jesus. All right, so he had 77 receptions. He had 851 yards. He had 3 receiving touchdowns.
We should go up.
That I would say double it, maybe to 6, 5 or 6, because he's gonna get some rushes too. He's not.
Well, he had 2 rushing touchdowns too.
Yeah, so
he ain't getting 200 rushing yards though.
Let me see if I can just quickly try to how many yards he had rushing. He had about 170 yards rushing.
He had 200.
Yeah, did he have 200?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it real quick. So he did.
I'm looking at it, but I was.
Oh, are you looking at it too?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I'm prepared, unlike somebody.
I'm only not prepared on him. I'm sure we'll find 5 other players.
The consistency of probably forgetting at least one person per team.
Probably because it was midnight while you were home sleeping.
No, I was playing PlayStation.
That's even worse.
It was Warzone. Well, no, we gave up on Warzone because I get frustrated really fast.
Oh.
We were playing some Madden.
Oh, okay.
Jason whooped my ass. Actually, no, Jason, he beat me by a last-second field goal.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, Jay.
All right. So we have the Sims brothers here. I don't know if they're related.
Cam and Steve.
Yeah. Not super relevant.
Cam can't catch. And
I mean, we have Cam was wide receiver 91, and Steven was wide receiver 115. So
Steve was Steven was a shock. He was projected to be. I mean, I was on team SSJ, and he.
I mean,
let a lot of people down.
Cam Sims had 32 catches, 477 yards. Not horrible.
That's.
I mean, if you need somebody for injury or something, he could have Stevenson's 27 catches, 425.
Yeah. I would expect max that same stat line for both of them.
I'm around the same. I put Cam from 32 to 40 catches. Just progression.
I think Diami is going to slide in and take those.
Yeah. Yeah, it could very well happen.
Yeah.
Tight end.
Well, what do you think about? I mean, what about Diami?
I don't.
You're good.
Sorry, guys. This is a bad putt. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's driving me crazy.
Can't get so butthurt once the dog starts barking.
I
asked some kids to do one thing.
Diami Brown, I don't know. I didn't really like I was way low on him when we did our wide receivers in the draft. I was way low.
He's going to be their biggest receiver.
Okay.
I think he's 5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah,
190 pounds, maybe.
I didn't like his tape. I thought he looked slow.
I did. He was number 7 or 8 for me.
I know. I thought he looked slow. He didn't play fast like some of the other guys I saw on tape. It could just be the tape. I don't know. Sometimes the tape on players are bad. I didn't care for his tape at all. Sometimes receivers takes maybe halfway through the season. Some catch on right away, but he's got some quality players in front of him that might keep him off the field.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting big things out of. If you have a dynasty,
he's a definite stash.
Yeah, if you have dynasty, definitely stash. If you're not, I wouldn't draft him in best ball. I wouldn't draft him in redraft.
Is there a 2020 rookie that you might compare him to as far as maybe roster value?
I mean, I want to say like Brian Edwards, but he was a starter. But who just didn't deliver, got hurt, got banged up.
That you might have some that comparison's not bad because you got some expectations for him.
Right.
But at the same time,
man,
he's going to be a hold for.
I'm trying to think of players that maybe got drafted around the same place he did, which is what I think the fourth round. I'm trying to think of any receivers off the top of my head. I can't think of any, but I'm sure they're out there.
Trash.
Maybe like a QT. Maybe like his rookie year
he had a couple splash games. Though.
Yeah, I mean maybe QT, but I can't really think of anybody else off the top of my head.
I can't think of was there any good receivers this year?
Yeah, only 35 of them. So let's move to tight end.
I think we're spending a little too much time on
Redskins.
Just NFL.
Or Washington football
team. Let's move a little faster through the other one.
Okay. Still Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
Definitely came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere. Stat-wise, he came out of nowhere.
Final stat-wise, yeah, that was not expected.
Yeah.
But I'd be lying if I said I didn't see anything about him before the season or.
Mm-hmm. He's a quarterback playing tight end, so his learning curve is a little bit different because he's reading the
29
defenses.
years old, so he's got experience. Mm-hmm. He knows what it takes to stay on the field. So.
No one saw tight end 4.
No, God, no.
No one saw tight end 4 coming, and that's what he finished. So 72 catches, 672 yards, 110 targets.
I shipped him off in BSB, thinking it was just a throw-in.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns. So he scored some touchdowns. I have him regressing though.
A little bit, yeah. You have to expect regression. You have to.
Yeah, just with Fitzpatrick, I don't remember Fitzpatrick banging his tight ends.
Whoa!
I just don't remember him like heating them up. I just in anywhere he's been, I don't remember the tight end being or flourishing. But I could be wrong.
I concur.
All right. Anything else on Washington?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're not that sexy. Other than McLaurin and Gibson, I don't think there's anything sexy.
And Sam.
About them.
Curtis Samuel too.
Yeah,
I'll take Curtis
Samuel. Dallas, probably the sexiest fantasy team in this division for sure.
Yep.
So I didn't see a lot of additions. They went big on.
They drafted a dude from Stanford late, 6th, 7th round, like that.
Simi Fehoko. Yeah. Easy for me to say, but they also have Blake Jarwin coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 that I saw that unless I'm forgetting somebody.
Let's start on tight ends because that can be one conversation.
All right.
I know you're a Jarwin fan.
I love Jarwin.
Schultz proved that he deserves to be on the field.
Yeah, so Schultz finished the tight end 11.
Yeah.
He had 63 catches, 615 yards.
With Dalton at quarterback.
Yeah. He had 89 targets, which isn't bad in that offense. Mm-hmm. And then 4 touchdowns.
Are they going to turn to a 2 tight end set, even with 3 stud receivers? I mean, somehow, some way.
The pie just keeps shrinking.
Yeah.
There's only so much.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I don't that's an argument in basketball that there's only one ball to pass around, but I don't necessarily agree fully with the football argument of there's just not enough to go around, especially in that type of offense.
In that offense, there is.
Schultz deserves to be on the field, man. And
if their defense was good, there'd be a problem.
True.
There would be a huge pie problem of who was getting what. If their defense was Washington, say they had Washington,
they're going to be on the field more often than
correct, and they're going to be having to score to keep up.
Haven't.
So that's why I think it's relevant.
Yeah.
So Dak's back, so I don't really have a progression.
Like who?
Yeah. I don't.
Are we still talking about Dax Milne?
So he had 4.5 games last year. He averaged 30 points per fantasy game. So he was on pace for 482 fantasy points.
Most
and that's with 2 crap games in the 4.5. He had 2 games where he scored 17 points.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, he went out at half of the game, and he was 13 points in that game.
Yeah.
So he had some huge games. So I tried to prognosticate. There, I had to use a big word for you.
Spell prognosticate.
I don't want to.
C-U-M.
8 A-T-E.
Yeah, sure.
I have 4,900 passing yards. I have.
See, and I think he's topping 5. If he's in there all year, and he truly is not going to run as much or scramble as much, he's topping 5.
I only think I lowered his passing totals a little bit in my head because of Zeke. They got away from Zeke. That's the only reason I didn't go over 5, even with the extra game.
But what's that O-line going to look like for Zeke?
I think it's better. I don't know that it's obviously healthy.
Yeah, true.
So
a year removed.
Yeah, 270 rushing yards is what I have for Dak. That's going to be a tentative 270.
Okay.
And 46 total touchdowns is what I have.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So
that's a lot.
That's what I kind of have. That's
4,900 yards and 5,100 total yards and 49 touchdowns.
46 touchdowns.
That's what did we have him at QB5?
Yeah,
that
4.
That ain't QB4 numbers. That ain't QB4 numbers.
Well, that's what I kind of have him slated as. As I was going through all the numbers, I'm like,
that's QB1 numbers.
Yeah. What I don't know what.
No one would be shocked.
No, I wouldn't be shocked at all. Running back, 2 relevant ones.
Yeah.
You got Ezekiel Elliott, Zeke.
Bounce back.
Ben's boy.
He's got to have a bounce back here. Was he top 10? He finished top 10?
He was running back 9.
Yeah. And everyone is off the Zeke train right now. Zeke could be had. Zeke could be had in late second round of fantasy drafts, which is like redrafts, which is insane to me. Insane to think about, just because he's been so productive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had 979 last year. He just missed 1,000. He had 52 catches.
Seriously.
Yeah, he had 338 receiving yards.
I mean, he's always been a good receiver, but 52 catches is a lot.
He had 71 targets, which is a lot. That could be Andy Dalton. You're trying to do that on purpose now.
It feels good. Oh,
and then
feels good.
He had 8. He's cracking his neck. If everybody heard that snapping like a tree branch.
Oh, it feels so good.
And he had 8.
That was Ben.
8 total touchdowns.
I would expect again pure progression.
Mm-hmm. I definitely have progression. I have it ramped up.
He may not get that many receptions. He may be in the 40s.
I have him at 60.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So pure. You're thinking pure.
Mm-hmm. I think because Dak loves Zeke.
But you're off the Zeke train.
I am off of Zeke.
But you're projecting top 5 numbers.
Yeah, I'm projecting big numbers. I think he has one good year left in him.
That was literally my question you must have saw my gears turning. That was literally the question I was going to ask was how many more fantasy relevant years does he have?
I think he has one great one left in him.
One great, couple relevant.
That's why I'm kind of off him because most of my leagues.
25, 26?
We'd have to look that up.
I think he's a little younger than what most people think he is. I think he came into the league as a 20-year-old.
I'm all over Zeke in redraft, even after this year. But in Dynasty, I'm off of Zeke. That's just me. But redraft, best ball, any of those, Zeke's definitely a target. If he's there, I'm taking him. Yeah. If I'm drafting 8th or 9th.
I'm telling you, in the late second round, he's...
If I'm drafting 8th, gettable. 9th, 10th, somewhere in that area.
He's a third-round pick in Superflex drafts.
That's...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. Tony Pollard, nice change of pace. I'm going to do his real quick, and then I'll go back to my projections.
Sure.
He finished the running back 41, which isn't bad. It's not bad for a handcuff, I don't think, for his role.
When I look at ranking running backs, I try to keep, even in most of my leagues are 12-man, I try to look at it in 10-man tiers. Mm-hmm. Obviously there's tiers inside of the tiers, but I try to look at it in 10-man tiers. So I look at top 30 as a, if you're a backup or a handcuff and you can break that top 30, that's fantasy relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And 40's not that far off, but it still is.
Yeah, if you need someone in like a flex or something as an emergency, not as a...
Yeah,
if you have some injuries that
you could do worse.
Yeah, you could do worse.
You could do much worse. Cam Sims.
He finished with 435 yards rushing, 28 receptions, 192 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns.
200 receiving yards?
Yep. And
how many catches?
He had 28 out of 40 targets.
So 30 catches there, and how many does Zeke had? Almost 60?
He had 52. So they're throwing the ball to running backs.
80 catches, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they had J.D. McKissick numbers combined.
Yeah, basically.
Huh?
So, I got Zeke having a big year. I have him at 1,287 yards rushing. I have him at
coming back
60 catches for 375. And I have him at 10 total touchdowns.
It's heavy, man.
75 targets.
You're talking about QB1 and RB1 on the same team.
I think they're going to need it.
With that defense?
Yeah.
And I guess if the defense can't keep the offense off the field, that's attainable.
Yeah,
for sure.
The defense has as much to do with these progressions as anything.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite of Washington, where I think their defense holds them back from progressing as much. Fitz gives them a little bit of a advantage, but the defense kind of holds them back a little bit.
Yeah, Fitz gives more of a play-to-play instead of a game-to-game.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go move to receiver. We got the three-headed monster here. Cooper, CD Lamb.
Four-headed monster, dude.
Yeah.
Simi Fehoko? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he's beating out Cedric Wilson for that 4 spot. But and Michael Gallup. I didn't look at Wilson. I did a little bit, but I didn't put his numbers down. I didn't think it was. They got Noah Brown. Occasionally will have a couple catches, but
is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
He's just hanging on for dear life. Cedric Wilson was a nice surprise last year, a handful of games.
Yeah, with some injuries they had. Yeah, he filled in really nice. No one was guarding him. He'd come in and he was wide open every time. But CeeDee Lamb, 74 catches.
I'm expecting the roof to explode this year.
Well, let me do this. Let me regress. Let me regress. Cooper finished wide receiver 15.
You know how I feel about Cooper.
CeeDee Lamb finished wide receiver 22. Michael Gallup finished wide receiver 39.
Okay.
When Dak was in, he did not look for Gallup at all. But when Dalton came in, he looked for Gallup a lot. They had a nice connection,
especially at the end of the year.
Yeah. So I know you don't like Cooper.
Yeah, he's hot doo-doo butter, bro.
I like Cooper personally.
Straight up.
I like Cooper. He's just not flashy. But he's always there. He's always got solid numbers.
Nah.
So last year,
he's a physical trash can.
92 catches.
Trash. It sucks.
1,114 yards.
That's it.
130 targets, 5 touchdowns. That's where he
5 touchdowns. What a bum.
He had 14 yards rushing. CeeDee Lamb, 74 catches, 935 yards,
He's so good.
111 targets, 5 touchdowns.
Listen to those numbers. Damn, he had more than 4 touchdowns.
He had 92 yards rushing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You have a touchdown?
I don't know. I had 5 total. I didn't really separate
yeah.
it. Michael Gallup, 59 catches, 843 yards, 105
He
targets.
almost topped 1,000.
Yeah, 105 targets, 5 total touchdowns.
They all had 5.
Yep.
That's funny.
So, I mean, that's definitely a formidable 3.
Yeah.
I have CeeDee Lamb growing the most. I have him
Easily.
going from 74 catches to 90.
If Dak is in there all year, he's, he's topping 100.
1,147 yards is what I have him going up to.
That's too low.
Well, there's 3 guys that are going to be spreading it out, so I'm not going crazy high.
I am.
I also have Amari going up a little bit, but not as much.
Trash.
So, and I don't have Gallup. I have Gallup staying about the same.
I just got Gallup for free from Ben. So.
Yeah. Gallup's been passed around more than a joint at a Bob Marley concert. All right.
Oh, no.
All right. Anything else on the Cowboys? Anybody I missed that might be relevant?
Greg Zuerlein?
All right. Moving on.
But no, seriously, I'm expecting the roof to explode on CD.
Are you?
Amari's hot doo-doo butter, and Gallup.
If you're an Amari holder,
He's got 2 first names.
yeah. If you're an Amari holder, I mean, you can't. He's not killing you. He's not losing you a league.
I mean, he's consistently a wide receiver too.
Yeah,
But
he's not.
He's
not killing you.
even more than that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I still don't like him. He's trash.
Yeah, that's just your opinion. But
In my opinion, he's right most of the time.
if you have a chance to draft Cooper, I mean, he ain't going to kill you.
Yes, he is.
That's how I feel. All right, moving to the. Oh, you know what? I didn't do Dallas' schedule. So.
Oh no!
It's basically the same as Washington.
We'll talk schedule next week.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll talk
okay.
schedule next week.
All right. Giants, 6-10 last year. They had a lot of additions. I could have very easily missed some.
Yeah.
But
We got
Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, Tony.
Kenny Galladay.
Yep.
We got Kyle Rudolph.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley's back.
Yep.
Devonte Booker.
Yep.
John Ross.
Nope.
And they drafted a running back named Gary Brightwell.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah, who is apparently like a Swiss Army knife, kind of like a
Gainwell.
From Arizona. I didn't watch any of his tape when we did the running backs.
They're both their last names end in well. It's cute.
So I don't know if I missed anybody on that, but out of that, I mean, Devontae Booker is a nice pickup as a backup.
But Gallman played. That was confused me. That they
probably got him cheaper than they.
No,
would've
they
got
didn't.
him.
They paid Booker to come in.
Maybe because he's a little bit bigger. Maybe he's just a little bit bigger back.
Gallman played good, man.
Yeah, I didn't mind Gallman at all.
He didn't win me a shit, but he got me to the playoffs in my one league,
In
and
the other league.
I ended up winning. So kiss my ass.
Because
I traded like a 3rd round pick for him though. So
all right, quarterback. Daniel Jones. He finished QB 24.
he's got to go.
Disappointing.
He's got to go. He physically has to progress.
Yes, I mean he had 2,943 passing yards. That's not good. He had 423 rushing yards, 80 of them on one play where he fell down at the 6-yard line. Here's the one stat about Daniel Jones that shocked me. He had 12 total touchdowns.
Oh, what?
Yes, 12 total touchdowns. He had 11 touchdowns throwing
Slayton
and
had 2 games with 2 tutties too.
So he had 11 touchdowns passing and 10 interceptions. So for every 6 points he got you, or 4, whatever scoring, he got 1 taken away with interceptions at some point.
I went into our Joe's League last year with Danny Dimes as my starting quarterback.
I mean, that stat, 12 touchdowns.
Made it to the championship, so
That's bad. I do have him
12 tutties for a quarterback is terrible.
Terrible. And he was
How
still
was he only 24?
That shocked me even more that he was QB 24.
You know what he is though? sneaky fast.
He's really fast. He ain't
He's
sneaky.
fast. Bro, that I will never forget that run where he tripped over himself.
He was 22 miles an hour, like 22.
Flying.
He was running so fast.
That's why they signed John Ross.
Yeah.
Like a race in practice.
So I have him going up quite a bit. I think he's.
I don't say quite a bit, but
I have him going to 4,023 throwing yards.
Seriously, you're projecting high numbers here, buddy.
I'm projecting him. He's either going to do it this year or be out of a job.
Okay.
He got
they got 4 games a year against crappy defenses.
Not only that, but he gets Galladay. He gets a home run threat. He's got Kadarius Toney. Right, he's still got Sterling Shepard. He's got some weapons. He's got Saquon back.
Don't knock big play Slay, bro. Mediocre play Slay.
But he's got Saquon back. Saquon stays healthy.
Saquon alone, yeah.
That's 600 passing yards right there.
Even more.
Yeah, I'm being generous with 600.
Yeah.
So I think him not having Saquon all year kind of hurt him.
Saquon might be the single player that I'm most excited that is coming back this year.
Oh yeah, him and
single
C-Mac. Him and C-Mac.
No, I'm more excited to see Saquon than I am C-Mac.
Different injuries, but yeah, I get it.
Oh, no,
I hope he
general.
comes back as his old Saquon self for fantasy reasons.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I mean, I don't have any parts of him anywhere, but
I did. I actually had him twice in Joe's and traded both.
Yeah, I have him back. I have him getting close to 1,200 yards this year. 550 receiving. This is what I think it could be more.
And those are generous numbers.
50 catches, 10 total touchdowns. Yeah. So
super generous.
But I was generous because I don't know how he's going to come back. I don't know if he's going to be his old self.
You're generously generous. I get it.
They got Devonte Booker. I didn't do any stats for him.
He might get a couple hundred yards though.
Yeah,
300-400.
I didn't project anything out. I feel like he'll have his place.
He's not really I guess any other running back in the game is a change of pace to Saquon.
Not really.
He's not
for
a
him.
Same change of pace.
Same as with Josh Jacobs. I didn't think he was a change of pace with Josh
I get you.
Jacobs either. I mean, he just kind of did the same.
He's also surprisingly like 30 years old. I feel like he's been in the league for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah, but he's been solid when called upon. He's not going to kill you. And then I have Gary Brightwell. He's gonna do some stuff. He'd probably be a return guy, but receiving
that kind of guy may be a name to pay attention to in training camp.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Receiving, Sterling Shepard.
So I'm thinking Sterling might be out the door.
Could very well be. Tony could make him expendable.
And I've always been a fan of Sterling Shepard. He just struggles to stay on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I have Galladay slated as 81 catches, 1274. His stats, he only played 4 games last year, so I didn't really.
Him and Danny Dimes' games they complement each other very well.
He throws a deep ball well.
Yep, and
that's one thing he does.
KG's a home run hitter. So.
I have him going for about 1,200 some yards, 9 total touchdowns.
That might be a little hefty.
Might be, but I know he's chomping at the bit.
I can see him being under 900 yards and having more than 9 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I can see him kind of being that reverse.
I mean, he only had 65 catches in 2019, but
he still had 15. He led the league in touchdowns. I'm pretty sure, didn't he?
So it was like one out of every 6 catches or something was a touchdown or something like that.
Stat pad for it, bro.
Kadarius Toney, I kind of put him out like as a Marquise Brown.
Really confused on.
I kind of projected a Marquise Brown.
Like 8 touchdowns, 700 yards.
42 catches, 581 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns, 110 yards rushing.
I mean, Richie read off Hollywood's stats last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was he's had 8 touchdowns in both seasons or something like that.
That's the only thing I didn't see him getting a lot of touchdowns, but I do have him like 110 rushing yards, 150 rushing yards, somewhere in that area, somewhere like a Samuel.
I would imagine, especially with the draft capital they spent on him, in that spot. I'm not comparing him to the Ruggs pick at all, but in that spot, just taking your guy that you want, they have to have plans for him.
Oh, they have to.
And I think 500 yards is light on what their expected plans are going to be. Especially if they let one of their, probably Sterling Shepard, just because he's the oldest of the bunch. But
and he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes him expendable.
I can see a team coming to get Darius Slayton from him. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a contender that might be lacking some depth or something. Because Shepard last year was wide.
Tennessee. God.
Their best finishing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Their best finishing
Bro,
wide
if Big
receiver.
Play Slay comes to Nashville, bro. I'm juiced because that's my guy.
Wide receiver 44 for Shepherd. That was their highest finishing receiver.
He actually played more this year than he has in a while.
Slayton finished wide receiver 55. So,
and like I said, he had 2 games of high scoring. And
big Steelers and somebody else.
Yeah, very first game of the season. Yeah. They played Monday night, didn't they?
Yeah.
First game of the season. Yeah. Put up 2. Him and Juju both put up 2 tutties. And I had both of them in the lineup that week. Yeah.
Blowing people out.
Yeah.
Tight end.
Kyle Rudolph.
Evan Ingram. Let's talk Evan Ingram. Is there a more frustrating guy to have on your roster?
I will never own him on my team, any of my teams. I guess there would be an instance if he fell. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess.
He is.
I just don't want him.
So much
ever
talent. I mean, it's like he's just out there wandering around.
What did you say at the beginning of the show for us? High expectations, low results.
Representing greatness, but delivering mediocrity.
There you go. Boom. Welcome to the Evan Ingram show, people.
I mean, and you look at his stat line, it's not
this
horrible.
episode of the Evan Ingram Casual Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by.
He finished tight end 16, which is horrible.
And he made the Pro Bowl. He got voted to the Pro Bowl. Who was voting?
So, but I look at his stat line,
He's
I'm
cute,
like,
though.
I don't even remember. Nice. I don't even remember him doing this well, but he had 63 catches for 654 yards. He had 109 targets.
What?
Yeah. He had 109 targets, only caught 63 balls. So I don't know if that's on Jones or...
It's like Jerry Judy numbers.
Yeah.
I can't wait to cover AFC West and see what Jerry's numbers are.
He had 1 touchdown.
Well, his quarterback had 12.
Yeah.
And 4 of them are rushing, so...
He did have 26 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown. So...
Johnny Smith.
So I guess he had 2 total touchdowns, but still, that's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. All right. So I don't have really Kyle Rudolph doesn't really.
He's a good addition. He's a very good
He
addition.
finished the tight end 39.
He's a very good addition.
He's a good all around tight end. And he's been around the game forever.
Yep.
So
he's a late career Greg Olsen ad that Seattle took on.
Right. No, I agree.
Jason Witten coming back.
He'll catch you 3 or 4 touchdowns when you're guarding everybody else.
He'll be out there every play.
Yep. He'll slip out and catch a few for you.
I mean, he has to still have it. He kept Irv Smith off the field in Minnesota.
Still hasn't
He's
been
just
delivered.
melting in my mouth.
So good. Anything else on the Giants?
Little Giants. It's a good movie.
Good movie. All right. I don't expect much from the Giants again this year. At the end of this, when we do this, I'm going to tell you how I think they're going to finish. But
Yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
you can tell me too.
Philly.
Let's go to the Eagles. So no Carson Wentz. So they're going to, sounds like they're giving
It
the
hurts,
reins
bro.
completely to Jalen Hurts. I don't know that I like it. There's definitely potential there, but
I'm envisioning every single game from Jalen Hurts to be boom or bust.
yeah, I'm just.
He's got single game, Lamar Jackson ceiling, and Daniel Jones floor.
I was disappointed when I looked at the schedule and they weren't playing Baltimore.
I'm envisioning Jalen Hurts to be a more tan Daniel Jones.
Good call. Last year, and I think it was 5 games, he had 1,061 passing yards. He had 357 rushing yards in like 4 games.
Oh, you said 5, so.
I don't remember what it was, 4 or 5. He had 9 total touchdowns.
He almost
had more than Daniel Jones
in a quarter of the season.
I mean, he finished quarterback 35 for only playing 4.5 or 5 games.
Handful of game.
Mm-hmm. I have him projected to go 3,500 passing yards.
That's fair.
I
would probably project a hair more.
Mm-hmm. I have him just under 800 rushing yards. 795. 795. And then I have him at 28 total touchdowns.
There's a little too many running backs on that team for the quarterback.
But I have him at 28 total touchdowns. Every passing play could very well be a running play for Jalen Hurts.
Thanks.
So regardless of the running backs, how many they have. But I think he's going to hold on to the job, but I see them drafting a quarterback soon.
Sure. You think Joe Flacco's going to play?
God. Go ahead while you're choking on that Hershey's.
Bro, so good. All these people like, oh my God, I'm listening to him suck on a Hershey drop. Take the bag away from me. Yeah, sure.
Miles Sanders. You just move on.
Has to be progression. Has to be.
RB23 last year.
Has to be.
Probably the worst running back on your roster for Dynasty.
Well, I don't have him anymore.
Well, I'm just saying he was.
Ship them both. And I was all about Miles Sanders.
Me too. I wanted him
All
really
about
bad
him.
in that draft, and you outbid me.
No, I didn't get him. I traded for him.
Oh, did you? Somebody
I-
outbid me.
It was Big Mucket.
The computer outbid me. That's because he didn't draft. That's right.
Yeah, and I shipped out Jared Goff and OJ Howard for him.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a quarterback at all, so.
I got Kerryon Johnson with him too, which is kind of hilarious that I got him to handcuff Swift at the time, but
Right.
now he's handcuffing Sanders.
He had 867 rushing,
Seriously, that was surprising.
28 receptions, which is bad for Miles Sanders.
Yeah,
He had 197 receiving yards. He had 52 targets.
almost 900 rushing yards.
200. 900 rushing yards. Yeah, 867.
Think about it. He had just as many rushing yards as Zeke.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. Ugh.
Well, Zeke had 970. Zeke had 970, yeah. 52 targets, 6 total touchdowns. I'm projecting him to go.
Talk about a home run hitter, though.
Yeah, I'm projecting him just to go over 1,000. 34 catches, 220 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns.
I would project a little more in each category.
That's what I mean. I went 150 more in rushing.
That's fair.
They got Kerryon, as we discussed. They got Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell. I think we agree that Gainwell is going to turn into a slot type, Curtis Samuel type.
Curtis Samuel, yeah. Well, with that crowded backfield, that might be his best way to.
I agree.
To be relevant.
Yeah, I totally agree. They did draft Devonte Smith.
They did.
So
they traded up for him.
So they did. He's one of the key additions, along with Gainwell and Johnson, that I have. I don't know if I missed anybody that was relevant. I don't know that
they still have Ertz. Jeez.
Yeah, but
how long have they been talking about trading him?
I didn't put him on here, but I think there's something about after June 1st or something, or June 2nd, something with his contract that it.
So we should know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee him being on their roster.
Like a roster bonus type situation.
Let's talk. I mean, wide receivers, they don't really have much to talk about.
They got 2 guys that can blow open a field at any time, but will they?
We don't. Obviously,
both of them are will they question marks.
So Greg Ward was our highest finishing wide receiver last year. He finished wide receiver 58. That's bad. That's your number one receiver, wide receiver 58.
Oof.
Fulgham,
bruh.
He had a couple big games, but he was receiver 67.
The team you took over traded the guy that you took over from traded. Well, you know Rick obviously traded his 2023 first round pick
for Fulgham
in the middle of the year
because he looked like he was going to.
Mike cashed out.
Yeah, and then they have Rager, who finished 91, wide receiver 91, but he fought injuries, which is what I thought would happen. I was off Rager from the get.
I was on the Rager. I still am on the Rager train. I just am tempering my expectations.
I didn't project any of these guys because I don't know what their roles are. Rager's obviously going to be in it.
Outside of Miles Sanders, what are you projecting? And maybe Goddard. You could probably project Goddard.
I have Goddard projected, but I didn't do anything with these receivers because there's no guarantee they're going to make the team or not end up somewhere else.
Yeah, I understand that. I think Greg Ward has found a spot on this team, though.
Solid.
Yeah.
He's just solid. Nice slot guy. That's the only thing.
Another quarterback.
Yeah, he's an
Antoine Randall of the league right now.
Correct. But he's also the competition for Gainwell. So, because they can't put him outside.
Is he small?
He's small.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why they moved him receiver because he was so small. I did project out Devonta Smith, but I think I'm way off.
I'd probably say 650 and
I said 52 catches,
touchdowns.
52 catches, 736,
I would be very generous on his expectations.
with 80 targets.
And let him blow your expectations out of the water. That's how I'm going to approach him.
I have him at 80 targets, which I think that's a little on the low side because who's going to steal his targets?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say 600 to 700 yards, 5 to 8 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I would project in that range, but expect closer to four digit yards, double digit touchdowns. I would expect that.
Right.
But project low.
That's
a very fair assessment of
I think
Smith,
so.
for sure.
I even was a little low on the touchdown
Because he's so explosive that
I'm just worried about Jay Hurts getting him the ball. He's not accurate. He's not. So there's some factors in there when I was trying to figure this out.
that boy can get open though.
Mm-hmm. You still got to hit him. Still got to hit him.
Yeah, true. True.
Dallas Goedert, tight end 20.
Is it finally his year?
Tight end 20, which is disappointing.
He's been a top 10 dynasty tight end for the last 4 years. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm saying projected.
Projected.
10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man.
He had 46 catches, 524 yards out of 65 targets.
4 or 5 touchdowns, maybe?
He had 3. Yeah, so one trend in this division is there's not a lot of touchdown numbers.
Oh, shit, man.
Yeah, it's not a lot of touchdowns. Other than the Cowboys.
Which is crazy because all their defenses are, outside of Washington, are questionable.
Yeah.
The Giants' defense isn't terrible.
It's not horrible.
But, yeah, questionable.
Philly's defense is great up front. It's just not
Fletcher
great.
Cox is
the whole line is good. Hargraves, the whole. I mean, they're solid up front. They're just if they don't get to the quarterback.
Didn't they bring back who was a safety that was in New Orleans for a while? Ohio State
Malcolm
guy.
Jacobs.
Yeah, didn't they bring him back?
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to the defense too much.
I could be tripping.
Although I should with.
Maybe he went back to New Orleans. I don't know. Who cares?
I think
we haven't covered IDP. Oh, we got a draft next week.
Yeah, we got a draft. I see Dallas winning the division this year.
I would assume.
I think them and Washington are in a dogfight, only because does the defense beat the offense?
All of these teams, even Philly to a degree, no one would be surprised if they just yep, they're winning it. You know what I mean? Not the Super Bowl, but yep, they're winning this division. No one would be surprised on any of these teams.
Right.
If Daniel Jones progresses like he should with Saquon back coming in and handling his load, if Washington plays exactly how they should play with a good defense,
run the ball,
a master game manager at quarterback, and just
run the ball.
Yeah,
run the ball.
If Dallas comes in with all their weapons. If Philly comes in with all these young guns that can just blow open a field, no one would be surprised on any of these teams winning the division.
Right.
But
yeah. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is ready to make that step. That's just my opinion. Daniel Jones, I don't think is the answer in New York. I mean, it's a quarterback league. At the end of the day, they're only going to have Fitzpatrick. Washington's only going to have him 1 year.
And there's 1.5 non-question marks at quarterback in this division.
Dak is the best. That's why I'm going with Dallas. He's the best. If he stays healthy, I don't see anybody beating Dallas in the division.
If you made me bet, I'd say Dallas.
Mm-hmm. I'd say Dallas, Washington, Giants, Philly again. You're just going to flip-flop Dallas and Washington.
Yep.
I think that's how it's going to end. So,
and I wouldn't be shocked if both of them end up over 500. Dallas, Washington.
I mean, I was thinking 9-8, 10-7, somewhere in that area. Mm-hmm. That's where it's going to end up being. But I think we're going to see
the 17 game records are weird.
I think it's going to end up like that in a lot of the divisions. There's going to be a lot of mediocre.
I agree.
A lot of parity this year. I think a lot of the divisions are going to be really close.
I agree
with that. All right. Well, we're skipping the world famous top 5.
Yeah. Do you want to make up one real quick?
What do you want?
Top 5 favorite colors.
Colors? Let's see.
I like blue and light blue and royal blue, sky blue, aqua, turquoise.
Yeah. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, me neither.
It's more fun when all 4 of us are here.
Yeah. When I have a game plan, actually, the top 5 drinks I have.
Top 5 potato chips.
Ooh. Like brands or
flavors or whatever?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
All right. So,
do you have top 5 favorite teams outside of Pittsburgh?
No, I don't like anybody.
Good. I was hoping you were going to say.
I don't. If I had to root for another team, it would be Seattle.
Okay. I think you've said that before.
I like Seattle.
I can respect that.
They're far enough away. I don't have to worry about it.
You want to talk about the lottery a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We got some equipment.
All right. So if you didn't listen to last show, we want to do a lottery draft or a bunch of them.
Lottery league.
Lottery league.
Well, I guess the draft is.
Mm-hmm. It would be the Casuals Lottery League. We can have many more than one league. So basically, we ordered a. Bo's getting it now. Bo's grabbing it. So everybody's seen a bingo tumbler, I'm assuming. So the way this works is we have 12 team owners, and we would put all their names into the drum. We would pull those to create a draft order. Next, we would go by the ADP on Sleeper of the player. So we would take the top 12 running backs by ADP and put them in the hopper, and then draw them out by draft order. So let's say Sally has pick number 1.
Who you taking, Sally? Oh wait, you don't got a choice.
So we put them in there 1 through 12, randomly pull out.
Sally gets
Zeke Elliott. So maybe he's the number 9 running, but he's the number 9. She gets him number 1. Second player goes in there. We pull out Dalvin Cook.
Third player goes in, and they pull Antonio Gibson.
Yep. Well, he's 13, so he wouldn't be in there.
That boy top 10. Quit playing.
Or Kamara. So
Jonathan Taylor.
And that goes till those 12. Then we dump 13 to 24 in. And then we do start at 1 again. She could get
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson.
He's top 10, bro.
Anybody. Then we.
You good?
Sorry, I got a burp, but I don't really want to let it go. Then 25 to 36 go in, and then I think
we move on to receivers.
Yes, and we do receivers, quarterbacks, tight end. We do that all the way through. We do that. I forget how many rounds, but we figured 20 positions. I think is what 20
roster spots.
20 roster spots. What is this? A Kumasatra? Jeez. So, very interesting. You don't have control. We're trying to figure out some twists. We have the rules written up.
There's that skin itching factor of a lottery that
yes,
that draft would just be so.
You're like, exciting. Oh my God, who am I going to get? Yeah. I think it would be incredible. I
brought up a little twist today when we were just kind of BSing about it. Like if there's 12 names in the tumbler, we put 13 balls, and there's a bonus ball in there that if you pull the ball, maybe you get to swap with maybe the person before, the person after. You can maybe just get a little twist in there.
Yeah. And then the next ball would be the one that you get the bonus ball, and then you would draw again.
Yeah, and that would be your...
That would be the one you move or whatever.
Potentially, if you want to, yeah.
Correct. Or...
We could have some sort of raffle going along with it if you'd...
Yeah, we got all kinds of ideas. So we're going to try to get a lead together quickly and do one on a live stream. See how this works out. We'd like to have 10, 12,
even if it's
14.
Even if it's just one for fun, just like a mock. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Ooh, let's do that.
We could do that. But if we could do a mock, but we could still have it for real. We could still have it be a real league.
No, I'm a mock. Are you mocking me?
Mm.
I can't wait for you guys
I'm super flexing on you.
I can't wait for you guys to see the name of this episode.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I really want to do it. Nobody else does it unless they're listening and they want to steal our idea. But I think it's something we can be interactive with, like we've strived to be with our listeners. Mm-hmm. I think that's
the goal. Obviously, listeners are going to come. We just have to keep consistently putting out content, whether you want to take our advice or not.
Yeah. We really actually know more than what we lead on. Yeah, we were a little bit better than what we... Yeah, you're probably right. We're probably a little bit better, but we're not as good as the pros, and we're not as bad as the normal player. We're somewhere in between there.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah. But what this lottery thing does is it allows people that maybe never even played fantasy before to grow some interest in wanting to learn more about it and be.
I mean, I can't tell you the number of people that I talked about, like that they're fans of football, but they just never wanted to get into the game because they don't know all the players. Or they love watching the Browns. They know the other players, but they just
It makes you a better football fan.
Yeah.
It makes you more educated. Oh, I know that player plays for such and such, but think about it. We're doing all the work for you.
Who doesn't like a game?
We're giving you quality players. We're giving you a competitive team. You're not having to draft. We're giving you all the tools to be competitive and to have fun and to compete. You're not going to get blown out. Everybody's going to have pretty equal teams.
Well, you could. But.
Yeah, but you're going to have a chance. You're going to have one at every level.
You have the same chance as everybody else.
It's truly a lottery. And that's I know when I have a lottery ticket, I'm watching that drawing. I'm like, yeah. So
you're at the bar watching the Keno screen.
Yep. We're gonna have this. We're gonna use it for giveaways. We're gonna use it for all kinds of stuff. So keep that in mind. We're here to have fun with you guys.
Yeah, we understand that something like this, if it caught on, it is light to us, but at the same time, we're trying to create things like this to build the community.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or to build a community.
Bring people to the community. It's already a pretty big community.
But fantasy communities.
It's pretty spread out, though. So there's a lot of people that some people are
There's
dynasty
people. A lot of heavy
people.
hitters, though.
Yeah.
A lot of heavy hitters.
And
that's why
we're here. That's why we're here. So, all right, guys. Well, thought we had a good show. 2 mic thing is pretty cool.
I got to try to figure out how to stop this.
I was covered social media real quick. We're the Casuals FFP on Instagram and on Twitter and
on YouTube.
On YouTube, we have that now. Facebook fan page. I don't know if it's a fan page, but it's like a group page.
It's a fan page. We got a group and a fan, but the group is linked to the fan, and now we run the fan.
Yeah, so go ahead, go on Facebook. We got a lot of posts on there. You can ask questions. You can participate. That's where we live stream a lot. That's how we'll be doing the lottery drafts, is live streaming on Facebook, probably on YouTube, one or the other.
I like the Facebook route because there's just so many more people that can see it on their timeline. The YouTube, how many times a day do you just click on Facebook and just look?
Right. Yeah, I agree. You can email us, which we want questions. We want to know where you're from, what you're doing, whatever. We just want to know where you're listening from.
And we're casuals.
Yeah.
No one cares that you don't know us. If you're listening to this and you're just wanting to know fantasy info,
interact with us. That's what we want. We want to talk shit with each other. Yeah, we'll have you call in.
We do it enough, but there's always room for more.
It's thecasualsffp@gmail.com. Hit us up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for listening and becoming casualties.
Doses.